which we could see price break out of here, of that daily area of interest retest, and our next level target would be our second daily area of interest, which is a bullish continuations for BTC, which will be the 116K. All right, so all what you need to do is wait for either a bearish engulfing candle close or a bullish engulfing 4-hour bullish engulfing candle close, and you look for your entry confirmations. Okay, so hey babes, AdmireFX right here. Welcome back to our weekly market forecast. So this is our usual weekly market forecast for the week of the 3rd to the 7th of November. And by the way, happy new month, guys. This last month was a very profitable. September, October was a very profitable month for us, which you guys that are on our free Telegram community have seen a proven track record, free signals that we have been sending for the past few months. And moving forward, we have been having a lot of winning trades too, and few losses, but more of the winning trades, and we are always closing the week in massive profits, which all of you can attest to that. So if you're not on our free Telegram community, click on the link on the description below to join our free Telegram community today. And our algorithm shows that 70 to 80% of you are yet to subscribe to this channel. So if you are yet to subscribe, please smash the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. So without further ado, let's get over to the business of the day. So we're starting off with BTC. Okay, for BTC for last week, we had BTC on somewhere around here when we were analyzing BTC, somewhere around here. I think it was Saturday. I made the video somewhere around Saturday and I posted it on Sunday, so which I also sent some good trade calls, which I think I even forgot to enter here. Okay, somewhere around here. So I sent the trade call on the free Telegram community, and we had a very nice buy on BTC, which I'm going to add somewhere around in this video. So this made us a lot of money. You can see the before and the after. So I gave you guys some bullish and bearish scenarios, but we had price play out to the bullish side of things. This is why I always say, when we drop trade calls or projections like this, it is up to you to trade them off zones and look out for, use your own trading confirmations to take those trades off this kind of zones, in which we are also mentioning about. Okay, so we had a meantime buys, and we also said that price could most likely reverse from here. Why is this so? Looking here, you can see that this yellow area here is a daily area of interest, so which this means that this is a very strong area in which price could either reverse or wish to break through. Okay, so we can clearly see that we have been on a bearish trend for the longest of time on BTC, so we are still anticipating more bearishness. Okay, so since then we had BTC going all the way to the downside. So now we had price come back to the $107,000. Okay, and we had price go back to 111, so which is back to our daily area of interest. So this is also where price currently is now, which is the daily area of interest. Looking left is a very strong zones in which price has been respecting in previous times. So this also looks like a very nice trade for us. Okay, so all what we need for the coming week is price. Let me shift this a little bit. Okay, so all what we need is price to give us a buy to sell scenarios. Okay, for price to heading back to between 106K, all right, to the downsides on BTC. So whenever you're watching this video and this trade is still very much valid, you can take it. So all what I'll be waiting for is this 4-hour candle close. If this 4-hour candle closes, I'll most likely send this as a trade call on the community. So if you're not on the free Telegram community, click on the link on the description to join, because I'm sharing all my trades for the rest of the year for free, and registration for our mentorship has also started against next year, because we shall be increasing the prices for our mentorship from next year, so you can get it at a discounted price from this year, paying ahead of time. Okay, so moving forward, so for BTC, we are still very much on the bearish side of things. I'm not going to give you bullish side of things for now, because price still looks clearly bearish. Okay, so if price continues bearish here, let's say you miss this first entry somewhere around here, okay, you must not miss the second entry, which is the break, the retest, and you look at this trend line, which is the 103. okay, you can see the trend line is coming all the way from the downsides, guys, okay, which I've been speaking about in previous time. So overall, we are seeing BTC go to this trend line, which is 103k, and overall this support, which is 100k. okay, so we are targeting BTC to going back to 100k, so we can be adding positions all the way to the downside. So that's it for BTC, and up next is gold. I'll take this out, mark it out as a proper zone, like so. Alright, so there are two things involved right now. Okay, we could have price start selling from here to the downsides. First of all, 100% retracement level, which is this area, like so, which is the 4014 ounce. So for gold for last week, okay, we can see how we predicted gold into precision too. Okay, we had price was somewhere around here. As for last week, I marked out this first zone and the second zone, so we're expecting price to drop either from the first zone or from the second zone. So clearly we can see how price dropped from the first zone of the 1426 area, okay, that level, and we had our bearishness all the way to the 3942, which this blue bar here, which was our overall target. But our first target with this 100% retracement level, which was the 1046 thereabouts to the downsides. So clearly from last week we had gold dropping all the way to the downsides, so which we also saw a lot of you made money, and I even recalled this one again, this second sales on the general community, which a lot of people also made money. So moving forward for the coming weeks, where is our next level target? So what I'm going to do, I would extend this like so, and extend this like so. These levels are still very much valid. Okay, I'll extend this like so a little bit. Yeah, so all what we need, first level, all what we need, we are still very much bearish, is price to reverse from the 4021. okay, 4021, targeting our first level target, which is the 100% retracement level here, which I'm going to move this blue bar down to that area. So our target is the 3888 ounce. Okay, then overall we'll be seeing gold go to 3759 ounce to the downside. So that's for that phase zone, and price could even go slightly deeper back to 4109 before the bearish drop to first level, second level, and our third level. Okay, so that's it for gold. Do well to mark it out on your phone, your trading device. And up next is the DXY. Price gave us a little bit more pullbacks, okay, a little bit more pullbacks to the 998.251 before we could have bullish continuations back to 100% retracement level, which is the 99.117. Then we could go as high as the 99.945, okay, to the upside. All right, so like I said, I'll be giving you guys only bullish scenarios because price looks very much bullish so far, or for the longest of time. Even though we wish to plot our trend lines, okay, even though we wish to plot our trend lines, you see that price is respecting these trend lines too. All right, you see price bouncing off here, almost here, and we had that third or fourth bounce right about there. So this is more like an added confirmation to what we are also looking at on the DXY, and you can even check your daily. Come back on the DXY, you can see how we also projected the DXY into precision for weeks back. Okay, like I said, we have been on a very good winning streak for the past 2 months in September and October overall. Okay, so how is this been possible is because of Mr. DXY. Okay, why is this so? We have been understanding that DXY has been very much bullish from since September, creating series of highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, and a new higher high has been created here, which is higher than this previous high. So we are expecting more bullishness to the upsides, which that's why you guys are seeing us have these nice entries, nice entries, nice entries. You can even see first bounce, second, third, and we have our fourth bounce here. So these things are actually not magic. So if you join us weekly on our weekly analysis, you see week in, week out, we called all these trades and we also took them, 99% of them, and most of you also took them too and made money for yourself. So these are also proof to show you guys that we don't just preach stuffs, okay, but we also practice what we preach. These trades that we also set out to you guys, we also take them for ourselves. We use it to make money for ourselves, and we use it to send free signals to proper free signals to you guys to also make money for free. And for people that are interested to learning from us, this would also show you that we actually know what we are doing. Our trading strategy is not complicated. We try as much as possible to simplify these things for you guys to understanding that even a layman or a baby in the kindergarten could understand what we are speaking about. So you can clearly see that price is on a bullish trend, so, and has been respecting this trend line. I even had to do a reanalysis, I think somewhere around Wednesday night or Tuesday night on this trade again, even when price was yet to bounce of this area. I think I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video for you guys to see. Also a trend line in which we are having that is coming all the way from the downside. We have had first touch, second touch, and most likely a third touch. Okay, so hopefully that trend line holds, and that trend line also matches with this area of interest looking left. Okay, see, this is where the area of interest is coming from, looking left. You can see multiple week projections from previous times on price on that area. So we have to be patient. Okay, so trading is like 80% waiting and 20% execution. So waiting for price to give us some candle confirmations here, maybe a 4-hour bearish, a bullish engulfing candles, 4-hour bullish engulfing candle on this zone, maybe just on that trend line or a little bit inside that zone before bullish continuation. So fully you see that I spoke about price bouncing off this trend line. Okay, this same trend line in which we had price seated here, and this was also why we were able to use this to our trading advantage on Euro USD, GBP USD, and the rest. So with this, these are also why we were able to have a high winning rate on all our trades. Okay, so moving forward for the coming weeks, let's look at how the weekly candle close. It's always important to look at how your weekly candle close each week. Okay, so these are things that we also teach on our mentorship. Candlestick closure opening is very important. Okay, so if you guys remember from months ago, I spoke about this double bottom in which price created, and it did not just end there. This doji candle in which price also formed here weeks ago, which is more than 6-7 weeks ago. I drew you guys attention to that candle somewhere around there on price on this candle signifying bullishness. So imagine if you were able to hold these trades from the coming weeks or like 4-5 weeks ago. So these are things that when you hear me say I'm holding my trades for like 6 weeks, these are our trading confirmations that helps us to do so. Like currently I have a trade on GBP USD which I've been holding for 2 weeks, and this coming week, which this video would be posted, would make it the 3rd week. So what does that mean? Somewhere around these zones I have been trading GBP USD, which I also send those signals for free, by the way, on the general community. So I'll be holding GBP USD over 370 pips plus right now on that trade, which I took partials, and I'm holding 20% for now. This coming week I'll be taking the remaining 10% and holding just 10% on the trade. So you can see the power of swing trading and nice entry confirmations. So here on the DXY, if you look at the DXY, you can see, let's shrink the screen. All right, looking left, you can see where DXY currently is. Okay, you can see where it is on that zone there, on that weekly area of interest. All right, so we can see how price came to this zone, this daily area of interest, and projected back to the weekly area of interest. And when price comes to this moving average here, we may have some sort of tussle, maybe for a week or two, before we could either continue bullish, or we may have a meantime reversals before we continue to the upsides. But overall, I'm really projecting price to go all the way to the upside. So why is this so? If you are my mentees, you know why this is so. Looking left, we can see an amount of imbalance, thousands of pips of imbalance left here, okay, on field. So what does this mean? We would most likely have another price filling in this imbalance. So when next you guys hear me that I might be holding my GDP trades and other trades I'll be holding moving forward from here, that I may be holding them for the next 3 to 4 months. These are the reasons, okay? So you always remember that I told you guys this would happen months ago, even before they occur, okay? So moving forward for GBP USD on the daily time frame, we can see that we are on this zone, so price could either go up or come down rather. So let's go back out our new zones on the weekly time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, in which we are expecting price bounce off. Okay, let's look at the daily time frame. There's not so much noise here. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so price is clearly on the weekly zone. All of these bars here is the weekly zone. So what I'm going to do, I know we are targeting here overall, I'm going to reduce this, okay, so that we can have that zone. So I'm going to mark out a new area on this resistance right about here. I'll bring this down. Okay, I could increase that color like so. Okay, so there's a level right about here that we could be looking for price. We could be looking for price to come into that area to continue to the upside. So all what we need to see, you can see multiple weak rejections, a previous resistance being broken out, a new higher high has been created. So we should be seeing price come back to retest this level. Okay, retest that level before you have a proper continuation to the 9.944 to the upsides. Okay, and we could even have price go further to $100 per point. Okay, but if that area fails, we have another minor level, all right, somewhere around here, all right, which also could be a bounce of this trend line. So we could see price come back into this area, bouncing off this trend line, and this trend line also matches looking left with this previous area of interest. So we could see price go to the same 9.954 to the upside. So that's it for the DXY. Up next is Euro USD. Okay, so here on the 4-hour time frame, all what we need to see, price would give us continuous bullishness to these zones properly. Then we could now have price drive all the way back to the 1.1572. okay, or price could even start moving forward. Welcome back. So on Euro USD, we can see how we projected Euro USD into precision for last week. We had some nice trade calls, which I also sent out, which a lot of people made money. And although when we had a little pullback somewhere around here, we were a little bit scared. I called you guys to tell you, some of you guys to close, but price did not. Funny thing was, we had a very nice stop above these highs. You can see price was nowhere close to that high, and we had price dropping all the way to the downsides. Okay, so this is part of those trades. Okay, this one is for Euro USD all the way to over 150 pips plus of drop, okay, on the first trades. And we had our second trade too, which we later took again, and we made a lot of money, which was also over 100 pips plus to the downside. So you can see how we stack these entries over and over again. Okay, this is not magic. I keep telling you guys, it's not magic, it's practice and precision over time. You can even see from last week, this same arrow I used, price just came into that area, into precision. It did not even pass that area at all, or the zone in which we marked out, and price started dropping to the downside. So like I said, these things we are not capping, we are actually making money from the forex market using our profitable trading strategy, which we share with only our mentees. So if you're interested to be in our mentees, you can start booking for your spot for our next mentorship for 2026 at a very discounted price right now. Okay, so moving forward for Euro USD, for last week we had a very nice bearishness. We had 2 trade calls, which you guys know I send quality trades other than quantity. So all what we just needed to do was to double down on these entries. The first one gave us like almost a 1:5, second one a 1:3. Some people went as far as having a 1:4 plus, almost another 1:5 there on that trade. So last week was a great week for us trading wise. So let's go to the weekly time frame to see how price closed. Okay, so here on the weekly time frame, if you guys remember, since when price was somewhere around here, right, I told you guys that I'm seeing a chart pattern here, which is not the regular kind of chart pattern in which you guys know about. Okay, the kind of chart pattern I'm speaking about is the divergence. Okay, so I told you guys I'm seeing something like a divergence here on the Euro USD weekly time frame. You can see it here even before this even occurred, that we should be having more drops. So these are the reasons in which I used to hold trades. Okay, these are my adage confirmations in which I used to understand the directional bias or where price is actually headed overall. So imagine if you were holding this all the way from this top here. Okay, although you'll be having ups and down, but overall you know that price is headed back to the zones, okay, of the 1.13323, which is the downside here, or these zones overall. Okay, so you can't just project these things blindly. You must have a proven strategy which is working for you before you could do so. Okay, I could even add the video somewhere around here for you guys to see when I spoke about this even before they happened. Okay, so all the way we are heading, we are looking at price come back to this downside on Euro USD there on the daily weekly time frame. Let's check the daily time frame. On the daily time frame was very awesome too. This is why I like trading off the higher time frames or marking my zones of the higher time frame. You can see how all the noise on the 4-hour time frame is being reduced here. Okay, you can also remember weeks ago I spoke about this chart pattern here, that we're having something like a head and shoulder, and we had these zones here, which is the support as a neckline. You can see how price came bounce off. So since then, some good trades that I took here, which I was able to hold that, okay, which I intended to hold in this one until should I call it a mistake or something, I had to close this one. But regardless, I still have other trades in which I'm holding. So you can see that head and shoulder I spoke about in the previous weeks, and price has been dropping all the way to the downside. So this makes things quite easy and reduce a lot of noise. So sometimes, or most times, it's very important to go to your higher time frame to reduce the noise. Okay, so where is our next level target? Looking left, you can see we have a lot of space all the way to the downside, and looking left we have an imbalance here yet to be filled. So let's see how many pips that should be. Okay, let's see how many pips. So price drop here, we should be having almost another 200 pips drop. You can see that 200 pips drop to the support or to this zone on Euro USD again. So these things are not magic. That may take like a week or two, but since we have NFP next week, this could happen quite fast. Okay, it could happen quite fast since we have NFP next week. So this is another 200 pips. I'm calling it here first for you guys to take action. Okay, but if you don't know what to do, join our mentorship or join our free Telegram community and take the trade calls in which we send out. Okay, so moving forward for this week, all what we need to see price do is price to break here. Okay, price to break that support, price to break the support, which we can see here, a retest back to that zone. The zone is between the 1.157 and 1.154. okay, these zones here, and we could have price diving all the way to the 1.1388 to the downside. Okay, so that's my projections for Euro USD. Up next is GBP USD. Time frame. All right, we have some few zones here. So like I said, we could have price go back to the daily area of interest before a bearish continuations. We could even have price come to 100% retracement level. See, this is the 100% retracement level, 1.32430, before we have the bearish continuations to the downside. Or you could also see price break. Yeah, welcome back. So for GBP USD, you can see GBP USD for last week. I think this was what we used for our last week thumbnail, okay, which I'm going to add somewhere around in this video. You can see the zones that we marked out. I even wrote it here. I even wrote it here, sell here. So this should show you a very nice trade confirmations that we know what we are doing. This is not just guesswork, okay, but we know what we are doing. So also looking at GBP USD for last week, for the longest, GBP USD has been on a very nice bearish trend, creating series of lows, lower highs, lower lows. So what do you think is going to happen next week? Okay, we should have a new lower high being created before a new lower low. So this, we could be having some few days of pullback or the whole week of a pullback. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this off. All right, I could rather move this here. It's not moving. I could rather move this here. All right, so this is the next zone that we should be looking to sell GBP USD. So here on the, well, let's go to the 4-hour time frames. Okay, on the 4-hour time frames, this is the trade I'm telling you guys about that I've been holding for the past 2 weeks. You can see the zone that I took, it very nice zone into a precision, which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video. I'm still holding this trade, so this is over. Let's see how many pips that is, so you guys could know that we are not capping here. So here, so you can see over 268 pips drop. Okay, you can see it right about there. So we are not capping here, we know what we are doing, and this, all what you can do to achieving this is continuous practice and getting the right mentorship. I'm learning from the prophetic analyst himself. So these are the reasons why you guys call me the prophetic analyst. So moving forward, I think I would like to stick to the daily time frame to reduce a lot of noise for us. Okay, so here we could have some pullbacks. If you observe too, we were not able to have a good pullback on GBP USD for last week. So the reverse could be the case this week now. So this week we may be having pullbacks on GBP and we may be having more sales on Euro USD. These things are quite technical and in-depth to speak about it here on this free weekly market analysis. So this is why you have to be on a free Telegram community. I do host once in a while live sessions, free live sessions, even here on YouTube or the free Telegram community. So there you can ask these questions. There I can explain these things in depth. And if you want to know even further, okay, you want me to copy and paste my brain, you really need my mentorship. Okay, that's if you know what we are doing, we are giving you so much value. You shouldn't even think twice or hesitate. A lot of you have been hesitating, and the year 2025 had finished or has finished already, and you are still yet to pay for that mentorship course or still yet to get that knowledge. So this is a time, no more procrastination, put it into action. Okay, so for the next week on the GBP USD, we could have GBP USD give us some pullbacks. Okay, more like a buy to sell scenarios. Okay, but let's start with our phase zones because this is quite a little bit tricky. Let me take that out. Okay, let's start from the phase zone. All right, so our first zone is these zones of between the 1.3200 and the 1.317. okay, so we could have price come to this zone. Looking left, you can see this is a previous support, previous area of interest, clearly stated there at daily AOI. We could have price bounce off there and come all the way to the downside, which is to the level of the 1.3033 to the downside. And let's say price breaks here and continues bullish, we should be looking for price to go to this premium area, which is somewhere around here, which we have the 1.3041, and we should be seeing price come back to this 100% retracement level of the 1.31728. then we could go overall, which is 1.303. okay, let's check if price moves from here all the way down here. This is like this move alone from next week is over 280 pips plus almost 300 pips. So if you're someone like me that will be taking my first trades from this first area, which is a 1.33, then I could take the second trade again from 1.320. this is more than I'll be bagging over 500 to 600 pips on this particular trade alone. So this is a very nice trade call. Like I said, I keep making you guys free money, so always take this opportunity to do the best you can. Okay, so that's it for the GBP USD. The last but not the least, Euro. The last but not the least, USD CHF. So like for our time frame for last week, we can see how price closed with this bullish engulfing candle. This looks good for me. Okay, this looks good for me. So for me, all what I need to do is more like a break, retest, then 100% retracement level 0.799. then we can go as high as our 0.804, okay, to the upsides. So for me, this looks like a good buy. So you can just take your trades, your bullish, put your stops loss slightly below here and target first level, almost a 1:2, but this is a 1:6, still a good one regardless. Okay, then you can go all the way to the 1:4, which is that area. Okay, so this is a very good trade. You can. So for USD CHF for last week, okay, you can see how we projected USD CHF into precision 2. We had USD CHF somewhere around these zones. We had this our daily area of interest indicated as a yellow bar. Why I also like indicating this with the yellow bar is these zones are get ready zones. Okay, our get ready zones, as you can see. So when price moves from our get ready zones, which is the daily AOIs, most likely price doesn't turn back anytime soon. Okay, so those get ready zones most likely gives us nothing less than 100 pips, nothing less than 200 pips. You can see this one like 100, almost 150 pips just on this move. So imagine bagging this first one and the second one, just like I showed you guys the first entry, the second entry, how to enter. So you can see I did not even take this out since last week, so I even called this as a signal from last week, which you guys can see how it played out. Okay, so first level was being met, price moved from here to the upside, second level break, retest, and price continued to the upside. Okay, so where is our next level target for the coming weeks? Let's check how last week closed on the weekly time frame, which is here on the weekly time frame. So you can see this is why I've been looking at USD CHF for the past 3 weeks. Why is this so? Because USD CHF was the only inversely correlated pair that was taking time to play out. So this is the best kind of trades that we could take beforehand, which I also mentioned. If you watch our videos 3 weeks ago, you see how I mentioned it, that we can take this kind of trades and make good money for ourselves. So you can see there's still room to the upside, which is all the way these zones. Okay, you can see massive space to the upside. Let's see how many pips that could should be all right over another 300, almost 350 pips room to the upside for the coming weeks. Okay, so all what you just need to do is look for the base levels, which is what I'm showing you guys right now, and take your trade. So if price is moving from where it currently is, which is a 0.805, we should be targeting these zones, which is a 0.836, which is over 350 pips to the upside. So let's go to our daily area of interest or daily time frame to see how we can make the best out of this. Okay, so I'll stick to the daily time frame, guys, okay, to make things a little bit cleaner and easier. Okay, I'll stick to the daily time frame. So I'm going to expand this like so. So first level, we could see price break here. You can see looking left, you can see this is our area of interest. Price break here, retest, and we should be targeting our next level target. I'm going to put a bar somewhere around here. So our next level target should be 0.815 to the upside, or we could see price coming as deep as this area before a continuation, but I don't really see that happening. Let's check the 4-hour time frame if we have a minor level. Okay, we could have, let me take this out. I think I'm seeing another shorter minor area, which is the support. Okay, so we could have price come back into here, then continue to the upside. Okay, so we are still very much bullish on USD CHF. So that's it for this week, guys. If you have watched this video to this very moment, please do to smash that subscribe button, like, share, and drop a comment in the comment section. Let's know how well we have been able to impact you on your trading for the past few months, for the longest in which you have been joining, and let's also know how if you are making money from us and how more we can help you guys. And just drop some fire on the fire emoji, on the comment section. Let's know if what we are doing a great job here. That will also help us to continue doing even more. And like I said, registration for our next batch of mentorship at discounted price is ongoing right now. So if you're interested to be able to analyze the market just like the prophetic analyst, click on the link on the description below, contact us and get your discounts and make payment and get started with us. Okay, so once again, we have NFP this week, and you should be trading carefully, and you should be trading most likely with only the prophetic analyst. So without further ado, always remember to plan your trades and trade only your plan. And see you guys next week. Cheers.